Do you think DC should really comment on John Jones' legacy?
Helwani wants the drama. That's why he said that. DC, he could sit there and I know Jones try to Jones. He hates John Jones. He fucking hates John Jones. I think the competitor in him hates the fact that outside of Stipe, his only losses, and even Stipe, he has 2 losses too, but he's also beat him and he had a close decision. So I think he's almost happy with that. I moved up to heavyweight, lost to the GOAT, whatever. It is what it is. Being 0-2 against John Jones, being the only guy in mixed martial arts that you could never beat, and he whooped your ass twice, it hurts him.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And John Jones is not a great guy when it comes to, say what you want. I think he's whatever. I don't know the man personally. We've seen some things. I think DC hates that motherfucker. And so when he comments on him or when Helwani comments on him, it's you kind of has to be a little one ear out the other. If you say some valid things, you say it, but how could this hurt John Jones' legacy? How could it hurt
just
his
by
legacy?
people saying
he's 30-0, double champ, longest reigning light heavyweight champion, technically longest by days heavyweight champion.
I don't think he's ducking Tom. I don't think John Jones would ever duck a fight. Dana White even said it. There's a lot. Jones is probably the only. He's most guys say things publicly they want this fight, and then it gets private. They don't really. He's the only guy that says the opposite. I don't think this smart. It's just, what does that fight do for me? And then private, he's I would like to fight that guy for the right payday.
I think they can all say what they want. It just doesn't hold any. It holds weight with.
Tom Aspinall even said, I agree with what John Jones says. My legacy's not there and his is. It does nothing for him. But I'm trying to build my, this. John Jones is I would rather fight Alex Pereira or Stipe Miocic or one of these, Francis, who have a legacy, who have a name behind them, who sell more pay-per-views, who.
To be fair, though, what kind of legacy does Francis have?
That's true.
I think there is a part of John Jones that is and he did say it, but he's now I'm just doing it because this guy's been so annoying about it. I think that plays a factor in it too, but in no way, shape, or form do I think it's John's this guy's definitely Francis is definitely a big threat. Mm-hmm. I mean,
but
he's definitely a big threat.
Stylistically, if Francis can hit him, but stylistically, I think for Francis, I think Tom's a better stylistic matchup against Jones than Francis is against Jones.
No, for sure.
Anyone that Jones could fight right now with the heavyweight division, Tom Aspinall is the worst matchup for Jones. Meaning, I think he wouldn't want to fight him most, but it don't matter.
I think what you saw with Gone is what you'd see with Francis.
Yes.
Yeah. Pretty similar.
People are because I don't understand the people Francis weighs more than Gone. That's not how takedowns are about angles,
technique.
And if Ngannou was able to take Gone down, and then we saw Ngannou take down his fight in PFL, his only fight was a guy that had no takedown defense. It's what do you think Jones is going to do to this guy?
Yeah, there's levels.
You got anything else on that?
No, it doesn't hurt his legacy. Nothing could hurt John.
Let us know if you
the only thing that he's hurt his legacy as much as he can hurt his legacy.
I think the thing is, I see a lot of people saying he's not the GOAT because of who he is in his personal life. I'm that has nothing to do with him.
I hate that too. Good friend, my best friend Michael. He thinks that John Jones not the GOAT because he's failed tests and he does this, and part of being a mixed martial artist is having the spirit of the fighting warrior, some gay shit. But to be honest, he's undefeated. No one can beat him. No one could touch him. You look at his run from 2011 to 2018. We were talking about it today. Let me go over the names.
The failing test to me is a thing if it's steroid-wise, but at the same time, if it's...
One was for cocaine.
After that, it's been proven, though, and whatever you want to call it, expunged about what was actually happening. But here's the thing. People look at him, they don't like him, so they're going to be oh, he's a steroid cheater.
And here's his title run. Do we really think that every fighter is clean?
Exactly. Here's his title run from 2011 to 2018. Shogun Rua, Rampage Jackson, Lyoto Machida, Rashad Evans, Vitor Belfort, Chael Sonnen, Gustafsson, Glover Teixeira, DC, OSP, DC, Gustafsson again. No one's getting... There's no run
You're losing one fight.
You would lose one of those fights,
99% of people are losing one of those fights. If not 2, 3, or 4.
3 fights in 2011, 2 in 2012, 2 in 2013, 1 in 14, 1 in 15, 1 in 16, 1 in 17, 1 in 18. And he won all of them.
Yeah. And pretty much 90% of those were very convincing fashion. There wasn't many, if any, where it was did he... the Dominic Reyes fight for me was the closest of all of them, which is crazy to say.
If you include the DC no contest, 6 of those were by finishing him.
Right.
And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I think he just decided he's one of those. He's 37, 38 now. Mm-hmm. He's just I'd rather just live my life.
It has to be hard at some point, right? I mean,
exactly, because his thinking too is the only fight they're gonna give me, Pereira lost, so that ruins it. Nagano's in a different promotion, so that ruins it. Aspinall could lose his next fight, and it's like I would have wasted my time fighting this guy.
I think he should have fought Aspinall
I do too.
because that's the only guy in front of him that makes any sort of sense whatsoever besides Pereira. But at the same time, like that's literally like Ilya. You don't think so? You don't think that Tom Aspinall should have fought John Jones should have fought him?
I don't. I think it's more of like that's the fight you want to see, but at the same point, like why?
What do you
Other than
mean,
if you're a
why?
fight fan.
No, he's the interim champion, and John Jones is the champion.
And he's defended his interim,
Exactly
that's
how
who
that
he-
goes.
I think Jones could have retired earlier and just said he's not fighting anymore.
I agree.
of
I
course.
agree with
I
what
agree
you're
with
saying.
that.
If
I'm
I'm
just saying,
Jones-
if Jones wanted to fight again, it should have been like, hey man,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
fighting Aspinall or you're fighting.
Yeah, 100%. If he had a choice, I don't think Pereira or Nagano should be an option. It should be Tom Aspinall.
No, that's
the
my
number
whole
one
point.
contender.
And as far as like the whole thing goes that we talked about with Aspinall, like let's just look at the scope. Let's say he goes for the next 3 title fights. Okay, let's say he fights Cyril Gane, Alexander Volkov. He's already beat Pavlovich. He's already beat Blades, and either Cortez Acosta or Giant Almeida. Do you have Tom Aspinall not winning any of those fights?
No, that's why I said for me it's Jones and Aspinall. You think he might lose one of those?
Well, I don't have him losing.
I'm
I
just
do
saying,
like Cortez Acosta.
No, I'm just saying if Jones, he even said I'm being an asshole about this, but for Tom Aspinall, I feel like he's been asking to fight. He's been asking for this. He's been asking for that. You're not going to say, well, the interim champ's going to fight someone who's actually deserving of the belt if it's not, because John Jones wants to do like a gimmick fight. It's like if John Jones wanted to do that, it's like don't take the belt and fight
I think
Pereira
the way
at 225 and just do that.
the way DC feels about Jones is how Jones feels about Tom, which I think is unjustified. It's more of Jones just annoyed that Aspinall is getting put in his name. type
Right.
of
Well,
the
for a
same
little while
legacy.
there, I was on the like Aspinall, just fucking go like 5 minutes without saying the guy's name.
Right.
But at the same time, he's also like, well, dude, I'm a fighter and I'm trying to.
Well, he's
make a
also
legacy.
like, how much more money can I make than fighting this guy? Because if you just went down those heavyweights, does any of those fights excite you?
No.
Other than Aspinall Jones.
Only the fact that Tom Aspinall's involved in them. That's it.
Because
That's
the
what I'm
thing
saying.
is, the only
But the A side of any Jones fight is Jones.
yeah, but
Aspinall, Nagano, Pereira, you're like, I just want to see Jones fight again. I want to see the GOAT fight again and dominate
There's
another
nothing
person.
to do with the other guys.
my only issue with Jones in this whole situation is it's like, dude, it like
Don't dick around.
right, either give up the belt.
Yeah,
you really are
yeah.
holding a division.
He
up.
should have just stuck to his words. Like, I'm not fighting that guy. I'm interested in Alex Pereira fight. If Ngannou comes back, I'm interested in that. I'm not interested in Tom Aspinall, and that should have been his one and only answer.
Because when did he fight? Stipe?
After he fought Stipe in November during Yvette's birthday.
Like, it's time for like this. Like, there's got to be something going on here. What are we doing?
He should have never said, like, I think I'm going to give you guys that fight. We're going to make it happen. Everyone was like, holy shit, he just announced a Tom Aspinall fight. Like, he should have just been like, this is it for me, guys. Or
Yeah.
said, like, we'll see what the future holds. Something.
And it could have been, like you said, he got his number and then he's been partying and he's got the hit and run. He's like, fuck.
I do think that plays a big
It was a
factor
game
in
time
that,
decision.
yeah.